Yeah, like we had a bunch of
we are
people waiting.
live. Exactly. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Nerd Culture Facebook page. We are Nerd Culture, and tonight we got a very specific topic we are going to be addressing with you. But before we start that, I want to do some introductions. My name is Ryan, and I think this is my left. Maybe it's my right. I'm not sure. To my left is, please introduce yourself to the worldwide audience.
Hi, I'm Caroline.
And next to her would be
Greg. Hi. And then below me would be
that guy.
No.
I'm that guy, Travis Troller. Nice to meet you.
And next to Travis would be.
Hi, I'm Ruth.
All right, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
It's like the worst Brady Bunch I've ever seen.
It's
the most
I know,
unenthusiastic Brady Bunch ever.
Exactly, but
I didn't watch
Brady
Bunch.
Well, trust me.
It was some of these properties were probably before our time. But that's not why we're here tonight. We are here tonight to discuss the impact that this little thing that's been going around for the last several months, known as COVID-19, is affecting the movie industry, how it affects movies going to theaters, how it's going to be affecting the movie industry going forward. So, with that, there were some...
What are you looking at, Ryan?
What am I looking at? I'm looking at my notes. Is that an issue for you? I hope not.
No, I'm just curious.
Oh, I have notes in front of me. I apologize. I probably should have been more specific about that up front.
Let the man run the show.
I'm trying to. But anyhow, according to sources, that with this situation with COVID-19, they keep delaying films. And one thing I noticed that I was doing my research on was that executives, estimate that pushing films such as whether it be Mulan or Tenet, even a few weeks at a time, can amount to losing them $200,000 to $400,000 in marketing fees alone. That's not even counting for their production budget, which I think is pretty crazy for a marketing campaign. But you know what? Things happen. Movies get shuffled all the time to the point where movies that were supposed to come out, starting in March to April, have now been shuffled to like later in 2020 or maybe even to 2021. I mean, just some of those. Tenet is now supposed to come out on August 12th. You got Mulan, which originally is supposed to come out in late March. It's now been pushed to August 21st of later on this year. But the question is, will any of these films see the light of day in theaters in 2020, or should the movie industry make the decision and say, you know what, instead of spending all our money on marketing and stuff, maybe we should just put them on certain streaming services or maybe put them on demand? So my question to the panel is this. What do you think the movie industry should do with movies that were supposed to come out in 2020? They may have delayed them several months or so. What do you think they should do going forward? Should they try to put these films on demand? Should they put them on a streaming service? Or should they wait it out and see if this thing is cleared up by late July, maybe even early August, to see if we can get some films in theaters, maybe even open the doors to theaters?
I have a suggestion outside of your box. My thought is release them in drive-ins. Bring back drive-ins.
Nobody's going to go to a drive-in.
Oh, no. A lot of people have been going to drive-ins.
I went to a drive-in last week.
Greg, how?
You drive to a drive-in and then they show a movie.
I didn't even think they really existed anymore.
Yeah, there's one in Baltimore. Yeah. Benji's. I think it's called Benji's. Yeah.
Benji.
Yeah, it's actually like really interesting. I think they only show like movies that have been out for a while, because I think the last one, the one I went to, they showed like Love and Basketball and then Crazy Rich Asians. But yeah, like,
who saw that movie? Hold on, that's actually a good question. Crazy Rich Asians. This was a movie that came out. Like, first of all, does anybody agree with me on the fact? Like, does that kind of suck as a title?
No.
I mean, it was accurate.
I mean, I haven't seen it, so.
I mean, it describes the movie to a T.
I don't know. I was so sideswiped by that film to the point where, like, when I saw the trailer for it, I'm like, oh, it's another one of these, and all of a sudden it was like Crazy Rich Asians. I'm like, are they running out of creative ideas for titles here? I'm like, that seems a little too on point, to the point where I don't think they're trying anymore.
I think they were trying to monopolize on the fact that it was an Asian.
They were Asian.
Movie. So yeah, they put it in the title.
Because Mulan wasn't out yet and everything, so it's just like there's hype for it. So we're gonna do this.
Right. It's a book.
It's a book?
Too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
I see. Well, I'm not surprised. They're just like, what's the other movie? Like the one with the pants that everybody wears the same pants.
Sisterhood
of the Traveling Pants?
Yeah, they all wear the same pants, right? Isn't that the whole, like, the pants give them powers or something?
No, they just
No
share
clue.
them.
Captain
because they're
Underpants?
sisters, and they made
Captain
2 movies out of it.
Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants?
Yes. That's the.
She's back.
She's like, excuse me, what's that?
Caroline's like, wait, you're talking about a movie I love and I hold very dear to my heart? Oh my goodness.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that like they get powers from like wearing the same pair of pants?
No.
So
They
why
just
are the-
share them because they're best friends. They're sisters.
Okay, hold on. This is what. Okay, that's weird.
Why is that?
Why would you share a pair of pants?
Travis, I don't think we're here
It's
to
based off a book.
break down Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants for
Wait,
you.
it's a bit off topic, but it is based off a book. That is true.
Fine.
Well, I
All-
like Caroline's idea.
I do as well.
Yeah.
Sure,
release.
that is somewhat good, but that's still gonna be like. So what? But what's the extent though of like keeping a social distancing? Because then there's this thing where it's like you have to stay 6 feet apart. But if you're going to drive-ins, no one's going by themselves, so you're basically getting in the car with people. So is that enough for it to be like you're not following the guidelines?
It's normally the people you've already seen and had contact with, like your family.
But I heard that it takes like you could have the flu or whatever the hell you could have the disease for like 2 weeks without knowing it. So it's like you never know until it's too late, and then you don't know who you came in contact with for those past 2 weeks.
So you wear a mask.
I don't think a mask is going to help you.
It does.
Actually, it's been scientifically proven that it does help. But
Greg,
anyway,
what do you think on the subject?
yeah.
I definitely think that theaters really shouldn't open just because like there's no real way to social distance in a theater. Like
No, there is. And they
Travis-
refuse to do
Travis-
it. Listen, I'm telling you.
Travis.
Listen to me. Just real quick.
Okay.
Here's the thing. If you go to the theater, if they decided that whatever the ticket count is for a theater until it's full, if you cut that in half and said this is how many people we're allowed to let in, listen to me. Just 2 seconds. Hold on, Caroline, you wait.
I love to debunk everything you're gonna say.
And then, no, I'm saying if they did this, that way you could literally be like, you could sit in the spot and then 2 spots away and then somebody else could sit there. That's perfect. That's perfect movie going experience for me. Every time
But
I
you're
go to the
sitting
movies,
in an enclosed room for like 2.5 hours.
ain't nobody, and we're far apart. It's fine.
No.
No, it's.
No.
Okay. then
I
beef
see
up-
what you're doing,
okay,
but
beef up your
it's not
security,
gonna work.
and then the second someone coughs, you pick them up and carry them out. You know, it's easy. It's easy.
No, I worked in a movie theater for 3 years. But, like, you don't clean those seats well. They're disgusting. Like, they're going to be behind.
So, are you suggesting, Travis, that we would like plastic wrap the seats between
Where
the
did
movies?
that? When did I say plastic wrap the seat?
I'm just saying, like,
I don't
you know
know.
what?
Like,
You
I
know
want to
what?
know what your idea is.
Sounds like a
didn't even
hygienic way
bring
to
it-
go.
I didn't even bring that up, but yes, I'm. This is how far ahead I don't think. I'm just now thinking about somebody just sat in this seat before I sat down. I just thought of that.
yeah,
I was
Travis.
thinking solely on the distancing thing that I didn't realize somebody's ass was just where my ass was. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, we shouldn't open again, guys.
No,
I understand that you're trying to fight for it.
You know,
I
going
understand.
back to
it.
what going back to what somebody was saying earlier, I think that they say that when you're in public places, yes, you should be safe, you should wear a mask. But if you're at a drive-in with your friends and your family and you're all in the same car, that's easier. You don't have to wear a mask.
Mhm.
You're separated enough from each other. You have your own environment where you don't have to worry about anything really. You can have your own snacks, your own beverages, what have you. So in a way, I think in a business sense, reopening the drive-ins this is the perfect time to do it. And there's a lot of movies that have yet to come out that this could be an opportunity for them to come out in theaters through the drive-in, create that experience that some people may not have had for a long time, or maybe have not experienced yet. And that that's a way to get the movie, somewhat of a way to get the movie industry back on its feet.
Here's the thing. In
Definitely.
relation to the movie theaters and production companies, in reaction to the COVID, I was looking very closely at the news about when theaters were supposedly supposed to open these past few weeks, because they kept setting themselves like deadlines for like it was always a few weeks away, but then it kept getting pushed and whatnot. And I was looking at specifically stocks, because there's like companies, like production companies you can invest in, like Lionsgate and AMC and stuff, that deal specifically with getting revenue based off of ticket sales and that sort of flow of income. So I was like trying to think ahead, thinking maybe if the theaters are going to start opening back up, then I can like invest in everything, and I can manipulate that, because people are going to be like, I want out of the house. I haven't been to the movies in a while. Let's just go. But then I was like, I'm going to sit on this and I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait before I invest to see how it goes. And thank God I did, because then literally 2 days later, I start getting news articles saying they're deciding to push it back indefinitely until we figure out this whole COVID thing. But it's like, there is like And it's just weird because it's like it's a very unpredictable market. It always seems like right when we're about to get close to having everything come back to normal, something happens and it spikes back up. And I think it's because, you know, cases start skyrocketing again because you have these people that are thinking, we've waited long enough, we got to be fine by now. And then they all get together. Next thing you know, they're causing it to spread more. We're just kind of undoing everything we did.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which
That
is
makes
rough.
sense.
Yeah. Like the movie industry was like one of the, like when this all started, like it was one of the hardest hit besides like travel. But like
Yeah.
it's just because like it's such a communal thing, which is what people kind of love about it, like going to a theater and like sitting down and like watching like and like experiencing this movie together. So like I understand that people want to like get back out there, but like it's not safe. It is, and then like you're just spreading it. So it's, I understand that the movie industry, the like the producers, the production companies, like they're sitting there like losing money, but at the same time, like they like you have to think about the human aspect of it.
So here's the thing, though. How much money could they possibly be losing if the solution for them, at least, to make money off of us is something as simple as just immediately sending it to any sort of online streaming platform? Like you can have it where, like on Xbox, Microsoft Store, they have a movie selection there, and you can literally send your film directly to there digitally, and then you could charge it for as much as what a ticket would cost. It'd be outrageous, but some people would probably rent it to be able to watch it. That way, people can still watch it from the comfort of their home. I know people would want to do that just so they can keep up to date with new movies they haven't seen before to pass the time, and they kind of got us a little bit by the balls, really, because we're not doing anything else. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna pay $12 right now to watch this movie, even though I'm not going to the theater. Some people would, I would debate it, but I'm just saying, like, there's some people that would. So I honestly would think that they would take advantage of that, and I would imagine that they would still get a decent amount of revenue from their ticket sales.
Yeah.
but
Was that
oh, go ahead, Ruth.
Oh, I was just gonna say that I actually watched a movie that was supposed to be in theaters and then directly just went on like to
What was
purchase
it?
Scoob.
Oh, Jesus!
But
You
anyway,
wasted money.
I
wasted
didn't-
money.
It wasn't
Hey,
my
it's still
subscription
relevant.
to HBO Max. But my point is that I probably wasn't going to see Scoob, but since it was for free on HBO Max, I mean, obviously I pay for HBO Max, but since it was on there, and I was like, oh, you know, I should watch this. Whereas I think, like, when I'm going to the movies, I'm very, like, selective in what I go to the movies for, and that means I miss out on a lot of, like, current movies. Does that
You're
make
very
sense?
selective. Like you
Yes.
only go to the movie. You won't go to the movies for like absolutely every single thing. But if it's all access to you, where you can choose what to rent, you can just kind of have at it more. Is what you're
Yeah,
saying?
like, you know, when you're on Netflix and, like, you know, the trailers will play and you're like, oh, you know what, I would watch that movie. Like, I feel like you're
Well,
more
huh, yeah,
likely
yeah.
to.
But that's
Scoob was
different.
great. It was really good.
Sure. Okay.
I gotta watch it now.
It
What
was
I'm
the
trying to
whole
say-
game. It was awesome.
What I'm
I
trying to
gotta
say
watch
is Netflix is different than what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if the production companies, if they want to be able to make those ticket sales, then they have to basically allow them to go digitally to stores where you can't access them through streaming services, because then that money gets divvied up way too much. What has to happen? The Way Back is a brilliant film.
the Ben Affleck movie?
I
Ben
haven't
Affleck,
watched
he's a
that, actually.
basketball
Hold
coach.
on. Is that's not on Netflix, is it?
I
No,
don't know if it's on Netflix, but it might be
But-
on streaming because it was only in theaters for a limited time before
I-
COVID-19 struck.
I do.
Yeah, so that's
I
interesting
do see
too.
what you're saying, Travis, but like also they have to pay to like they have to pay to like put their like they have to pay like distributors to like put
Mhm.
their movies out too. So
Yeah.
like they're also like paying for people to distribute the movies on like the different platforms, but at the same time, like they have to hope that people are just like, okay, like I want to see, like I'll buy this movie.
Right. And I mean, to be honest, what is their other option? Because the hype is going to go down. Like, the hype for Mulan has definitely gone down since we're
Yeah.
keeping it, you know?
So here's my question then. I mean, because I'm proposing the idea that, like, I'm surprised that they don't just like solve their issues of holding the movies off by just putting them out, because I feel like if you wait too long, then Ruth, you're exactly right. It's the fact that I don't care how long you've waited since the announcement of the film. At a certain point, you're going to get tired of it. You're like, I don't really care about that film anymore. I'll wait until at some point it's free, because
Yeah,
it's got,
exactly.
you know,
You've
that
waited
sort of
this
thing.
long anyway, so you're going to wait another month.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
think this is the time where if films were ready and they're just waiting for it, them to go out based off of when theaters are open. I say they should just go ahead and do it because I know people would be interested in renting it. But then again, I think it's because since everything's on a halt, they're probably trying to like kind of stockpile in a way, so that way they have stuff to release. That way, you know, when things open up, they have time to still pick up production on other projects and whatnot. So like there can't be like a gap.
That just debunked your entire thing.
Studios and NATO have a deal in place, so releasing it usually won't work. Dang.
Oh,
Wow.
NATO. I was thinking of something completely different. NATO is the National Association for Theater Owner. Okay, never mind. Because I was going to say, NATO, how are they involved in this? That makes no sense.
Forgotten it.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense, though.
Yeah.
Because it's going to cause theaters to go absolutely bankrupt if they're not getting these movies.
Yeah, like if they start like releasing, like if they do what you're saying, Travis, like and like it works, like theaters will like completely go out of business.
Unfortunate. Well, not the drive-ins wouldn't.
I see.
Yeah, the drive-ins wouldn't.
The drive-ins would survive this situation. So so that kind of brings me around to kind of what my next question would be is, what do you think studios in the movie industry should do? Should it be 50-50, release some of the movies in drive-ins and release the rest of them on a streaming service, or should they release all of them on a streaming service, or should they release all of them at drive-ins? What do you guys think it should do overall for the rest of the films that were supposed to come out in 2020? So let's just talk 2020 films right now. Let's not worry about 2021 because that's a whole other ball of wax. 2020 films, where should they go from here?
Well, for one, I feel like they're doing a good job keeping all the kids' movies on streaming.
Because no one else is thinking
like Scoob.
I roll.
Yeah,
I roll by
a
Ruth.
kids movie.
I mean, no, but you don't understand. You guys, I mean, you don't have to watch it, but so much more of that movie was more of a meme and like a throwback, like Scooby-Doo, the show. Yeah. That like kids, honestly, I think like would more find it funny than like an actual story of its own.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
it was a very like you needed the context actually. I think because I would say much, but it's like the origin kind of.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough about Scoob.
So actually, I'm going to go against what Brian is saying because the smaller films and the smaller production companies need the money from being in theaters.
Yeah, because like you also have like the international markets and stuff like that. Like, hi Thomas. But yeah, like it's very difficult because like I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm honestly not 100% sure, but I think like drive-in theaters, like there are only like a few of them like around the country, like not that many as like big theater like AMC and theaters. Yeah. And then like you're also like taking into account like you don't have something like I don't know if that's like something that they have worldwide. So like again, like the studios can like put out all this money for production, promotion, and everything like that, and distributing it, but at the same time, they could be losing money because like they made this more for an international market, and like internationally, it's not like doing well.
Yeah. Well, because now they're way more restricted because they expected this to go out to a way broader audience and everything.
Exactly.
So yeah, there is that. And I think, what everybody was saying earlier about the whole thing where I don't think they want everything to go 100% to stream because then that just proves that there's no need for theaters and they're trying to make them seem like they're still relevant. I get that. And I guess relying on the fact that people just still want to have the theater experience isn't going to be a strong enough basis for them to stay open. So it's really tricky. It's like they want to do the easy option so that they can make money, but they don't want to mess things up in the future that are probably going to help them if they can keep it open. So it's a very slippery slope, and I'm not sure. Caroline, you made a good point, which I didn't even kind of pick up on, is that, yes, they are taking kid movies or low rating films and releasing them that way to keep children safe, at least. I think
but also going off of that, they know this is coming from a marketing and business standpoint. They can make money off of merchandise. Blockbusters and small films cannot. Kids movies, most of their revenue comes from merchandising.
I see.
Yeah, so that makes a lot of sense.
Movie, it's gonna create a need and a want for those toys.
Mm.
So that's why
so that's why they just want to get them out there so that way they can give the effect that they're supposed to.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Because kids right now want toys. and
Toys.
occupied.
Are you sure?
Toys?
Are you sure you don't mean
Toys anymore. No.
I'm sure you don't mean iPads.
Okay, well they have apps too, and the purchase and app stuff.
Yeah, like in purchase.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they make money.
Yeah, like that. There's definitely like I don't know. Like I feel like the best thing to do is to kind of wait. Like yeah, it's
Wait
unfortunate
it
that
out,
like
see what happens in the next 3 to 4 months.
exactly like unfortunately like it's kind of hard because like everybody is already in that waiting waiting mood and like they're just like done with it. But at the same time, it's just like it's the best thing you can do.
You think for 2020 we should have stopped making entertainment?
That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
But like
they're never going to like they're not going to necessarily make. They're trying to avoid the one goal I think I know is trying to happen is they're not trying to have nothing going on so that way everything is put to a halt. They're trying to see what they have like maybe already stored up that they could try to release or keep anticipation for, so that way this doesn't ever come to a complete stop in a way, even though it almost kind of has. So like there's always going to be something that's going to be trying to be pushed in some way, but it's very like we're on an edge. And
yeah. I mean, I totally get it for the movies that were kind of like cut halfway, like their teaser was out and their trailer was out, so they were kind of like, okay, like we're the ones who have to decide. But other movies where like they hadn't released the trailer yet or maybe even the teaser yet, like I think those are the ones that are waiting. But it was the ones like Scoob who were kind of caught in the middle, and Mulan was caught in the middle too, but it decided to wait, and like it was supposed to come out in March, but it's
Scarlet Black Widow's releasing another trailer.
Are they?
Like they're coming out with a new one?
Yeah, another.
That's simple advertisement tactics. They're probably just taking the like different bits of like kind of the same footage and rehashing it with different music, just so they can like put something kind of new out.
Yeah.
So that way they can try to rebuild
time.
Yeah, they're trying to water the mouths of the people involved, saying, "Hey, remember this is still coming." Hopefully, just to make sure they can keep that interest. But it's rough when like you tell somebody, "Hey, this is going to be out in like a month," and all of a sudden 3 months goes by. I'm like, "Hey, you're still waiting on us?" I'm like, "Dude, no, I'm out."
Yeah.
And it's kind of unfortunate.
There was an article that came out I think it was today actually, that said subscription to Disney Plus went up by 75% of what went down with Hamilton. So would it really hurt Mulan that much if they just put it on Disney Plus? Because people are going to watch it no matter what.
I don't think after Hamilton came out, I feel like everyone that's going to watch Mulan already has Disney Plus. Hamilton was that outlier thing.
Why was Hamilton like? I kept seeing commercials for Hamilton. It was being pushed so hardly. Like, why was that like such a hyped up
very thing for the theater world? And
I hope that's wrong. Like that makes sense, Brian. That it's not going to be until 2023, but that's going to suck. That's really going to suck if we have to wait that long. But it does seem like a high possibility.
You mean like from filming any new ones?
Yeah.
Like we're not going to start getting
production
major motion pictures until probably around that time, and that's gonna be
That's kind of the thing that irritates me. Recently, we've seen a lot of movie news come out about all these casting announcements and films or other projects being in development. It's like, yeah, you can develop it and put it on paper, but you're not going to be able to shoot it for 2 to 3 years. And then when that happens, it's going to take another 2 years production and the marketing and for it to come out 5 years later. So it's like,
it's like my film 2 film right now. We have all the pre-pro done. We just can't shoot.
Yeah,
it's just sitting there now.
Yeah, it is like very unfortunate.
No, we didn't film. We got
if you guys got lucky and you guys already went through the filming process, it'd be like, sweet, we have so much time to edit now. Because getting
that's true.
Was practically impossible. True.
That is true.
That too. Fair. Like I came so close to getting those tickets once, and so sad. I'm still going to see it on stage though. Like I'm going to watch it at least like 4 or 5 times. Probably more on Disney Plus, and then I'll probably go see it live. But I do think that like
probably.
That's true. Yeah, I just think that like this has really derailed a lot of productions, but at the same time, like you can kind of like projects that they were like rushing. Like
Yeah.
maybe they can like take a look at them now and like see like, hey, like now that we have more time to like look this over, we don't have to rush into production. Like,
Well,
we
like
can
what?
really polish this.
Guys,
I honestly don't know.
it could be a blessing in disguise,
Yeah.
particularly for Hercules. That casting's gonna take a while.
Or
Is
the
it?
Batman, you know, it could be a good thing for the Batman. It gives them more
It's
time
not
to
a
work out
good
the
thing
story.
for the Batman. I've been reading up on that, and they were in the middle of production, so now they're at a halt, and then they start talking to
Oh.
Robert Pattinson. He's like, I'm not working out. I'm not doing anything. I'm not blaming him, but like, there's nothing going on. There's no progress. I wanted that movie, guys. What about me? What about me?
Not everything's about you. No, like that
This is.
that is actually an interesting point. Like for things that were like right in the middle of production, like
Yeah.
how are they going to weather this storm? Because like I can imagine they're losing millions of dollars at this point.
Probably.
Mhm.
Also, here's another question. There's so many factors that are involved, but take A-list actors that are in big motion pictures, right? And they just start productions like and everything, and all of a sudden everything gets put on halt. Where does that put them? Like, because now their source of revenue, their main occupation is basically being put like on stop. Like, what do they do? Like, are they supported by the production company that's like that's making the film, like to kind of keep them hanging on while we're waiting this out? Like, what are they allowed to do?
I like
Yes,
how you're
there
worried
can
about the
always be
millionaires
updates.
of the world.
Yeah, right?
No, I'm talking about the actors. Like, what did
You're
they?
worried
Well,
about
yeah,
Dwayne the Rock Johnson's of the
Yeah,
world.
like you think he doesn't have enough to keep him afloat?
Like they're
I'm
fine.
not saying
Like,
I mean,
that.
Dwayne
have
Johnson has
sponsorships,
plenty to
like-
keep him busy.
like
True.
they definitely have
Probably
like sponsorships and like
Dwayne
cushions, but
Johnson
like
just came out with a new season of the Titan games on NBC, and I didn't even know that was happening until I saw a trailer for it a couple weeks ago.
yeah. So like they definitely have things to like they definitely have like sponsorships and like other things to like definitely keep them like,
Virtual
afloat.
convention appearances.
But like
Half
if you
of them are
think
gonna
about it,
realize like, oh wow, this quarantine just showed me I don't have to work to make a living. This is weird. Like they just get money sent to them, like in cases.
I mean, look what certain movie and TV show actors are doing because a lot of the revenue comes from convention appearances. Now all the conventions are shut down; they're doing it virtually online through whether it's GalaxyCon, AwesomeCon.
Put that comment up right here. I'm sorry, but listen to this. DC is about to make a huge announcement regarding Henry Cavill, and I trust my source 100%. I don't know who your source is, but he better be right because I'm excited just from hearing that.
Look, Brian, nobody has a bigger man crush on Henry freaking Cavill than this guy. But until a movie actually comes out for a trailer that actually is representing a movie that's actually being made, I don't believe a word that any of the sources online, whether it's Variety, whether it's Hollywood Reporter, whether it's WB themselves, I don't care until I see my boy in the suit on an actual set, with an actual film coming out in an actual year in reality. I don't believe a word that the internet is saying.
Ryan, counteroffer. Like a 5-minute video of Henry Cavill in Superman pajamas just kind of dancing around. Is that good enough? Can we have that? That's more achievable.
Yes. Yes, please.
No, I still wouldn't believe it. No. And no.
Brian, thanks for that update. Like
Brian has sources.
I'm
I don't know who
interested
they are,
now.
but
I'm very interested.
It's like, how do you know about this? And Brian's just like, I know a guy.
I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy from the executive committee.
It's like, well, how do you know he's 100% reliable? Let's just say he wouldn't dare lie to me. All right, he knows.
Or Brian's just Henry Cavill's agent. Like, why not?
Exactly. And if so, see if you can get him on one of these. So you just get on and be like, you piss poor people. Nothing better to do.
But I like what Travis was saying about like current things because, like, you know, like what about like The Witcher is still being made, right? So it's like this is gonna be no. Like historically, are we always going to refer to 2020 as like that year gap where nothing was made and then everyone aged 3 years when it finally came out? Like, is there always going to be that gap? So, like Witcher season 1, season 2, or 3? I don't know if season 2 is like.
Yeah, you don't like. Definitely for TV, like you don't know where things are right now.
Yeah.
Wait, hon, I don't fully understand your question.
No, it's not.
Well, like, you're worried that like people?
Oh
like,
wow, that's legit.
Wait, what was the comment?
That's really legit.
Oh, sorry. I'll bring it up one more time. There you go. He says it's the one who broke the story about Disney buying Fox.
Whoa.
How does he know these things?
He's a
Psychic.
wizard.
No, Brian, how do you know these things?
He's making
He's a wizard. That's how he knows.
You're a wizard,
Probably.
Harry. No, he's like, you're a reporter, Harry. I'm a
Brian, do you know how to pronounce the spell? Is it Leviosa or Leviosa? Which one is it?
Whichever one.
Whichever one
Whichever
is a Harry
one is
Potter
right.
reference.
It's
But
a
what
square
I mean,
again.
It's
yeah.
Ah,
So
And-
in the end, would you guys split it up kind of 50-50, put some in the drive-in, half on streaming, or what would you do at the end of the day?
I think 50-50 is probably like a really. I mean,
Split the difference?
it really is kind of like a half measure though, because like
Yeah, it's true.
at the same time, like you still have to rely on people wanting to see the movie enough to rent it,
Mhm.
and
Trust
also
me,
like
there's some
wanting,
people that will.
yeah, because like honestly,
Didn't-
like
didn't
I would
you rent
definitely,
Birds of Prey.
Giveaways.
huh?
Didn't you rent Birds of Prey?
No,
You didn't?
no, it was like the last
I
movie
haven't
I
seen
saw
the
in
movie yet.
theaters.
Oh, you got lucky. See, me,
Yeah,
was
I got real lucky.
I was contemplating renting it the other night because I'm like, I kind of need to see this movie.
Oh,
I want to see
highly
Birds of
recommend.
Prey.
Highly
Yeah.
recommend.
Also, it's
like,
cheap for anybody that hasn't seen it. It's like $6.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely,
really? Nice.
That's
definitely
not
rent
that
it.
bad.
Definitely
I should
rent
get
it.
on that then. I haven't seen
But
it.
yeah, like I think that splitting the difference might be the best thing that they can do if they really just want to push things out. Like New Mutants,
Oh,
Honestly,
Jesus. I
just
forgot
release it.
about that film.
Just
I
release
know.
How
it.
many times? Hey,
happened?
Greg,
I
how many
honestly
times
think-
has that movie been delayed? 20 times.
I think that movie just. I think they should just burn the movie. I think they would
Just buy it, Thomas? Are you referring to Birds of Prey or another film that we spoke of?
That is an interesting suggestion.
Or
Instead of like renting it, like have people like buy it to own.
That's actually not bad.
Like, why not?
who's gonna?
I
You know?
mean,
I would
I made,
honestly buy
I made a
it
Target run
I
last
never
night. I bought a
considered
movie I
to do
haven't
it.
seen, and I own it now.
because like you
You're
could
the
just,
only one.
it could
Yeah.
honestly just
When was
start
the
people
last
on
time
like a digital
Anyone bought a
library.
DVD?
Yeah, who is
Besides
the
Ryan.
no? Yeah, that's a good point. When
Yeah.
when the last time you decided to go to a store, and be like, I'm gonna get a DVD today? You know,
No, we're-
no. You're the only one, man. Because anybody's
No,
like,
no.
I want to watch
There are a
this,
lot of
and then they
fans of
just
physical
Google
media
it
out
and it
there.
pops up.
Yeah, even movies that I love that I found recently, I don't feel like I need to own them physically.
BOP stands for Birds of Prey.
Bop.
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 Thank you, Thomas.
Gotta-
for
gotta
calling
put a
that
little
out.
bop on
Appreciate
Gotta put a little bop
Oh,
in
look
it.
at
I
this.
got
Gotta put a little
Buying
bop
all
in
the
it.
drops.
Okay.
Gotta put a little bop
He's
in
been buying all the drops instead of renting them. Does that mean you've been buying the films, or?
I would.
Oh wait, here we go.
Oh,
Ooh.
1917 was
Yes, somebody understands me. You bought physical media. I love it.
Okay, so
I
here's
would.
the thing.
I would.
I
definitely
understand
highly recommend it.
buying a DVD if you get this special edition that gives you this extra stuff. But if you can get a digital download that's going to give you the same thing, I don't see the point. That way you don't have to really like go out. But then also
Right.
there's two different types of people. There's people that would just want to rent it just to watch the movie and have the experience, and there's others that like feel like they have to have the experience, but then they also need to know that they can always go back to watch it again. I get both, but I'm kind of just like I like to watch it the one time, and that's enough for me to be like I made my judgment on it. I made my analysis. I can have conversations about it. Like I don't
Yeah.
need to own it.
Yeah, but there's also like those people that like love to have like just a collection.
I can
of
understand
movies.
a collection. I absolutely can. I think everybody here can agree. We can all understand collecting something. Funko Pops. Oh, got a problem, Caroline.
And buy the one for. Ooh,
Thank you.
Do you guys think we're ever gonna get to a
Interesting.
point where like
I like
movies
that.
don't
Okay.
release on DVD and like they just go to streaming
I'm
service?
surprised it hasn't already.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised it hasn't already.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think
that is a
to an
good point.
extent, maybe it should have like a little bit less, because think about it, like the Netflix original movies that have like super big actors nowadays, like Will Ferrell and Adam Sandler and some, but like they're just on Netflix. They don't have the physical copies that are getting sold.
Some of the series on
I will
Netflix
say
have
physical
DVDs.
media.
Wait, what did you say, Caroline?
What's up?
Some of the series on Netflix have DVDs that you can buy.
Really? Wait, where do you like? Is it on
I've seen
Netflix?
them at Target.
At
Wow.
Target?
I've seen them at Target. Is
Whoa, I need to see that. I don't believe that. That's crazy.
Fuller House ones
Hmm.
at Target.
Wait, what have you seen at Target?
Fuller House.
Full, really?
Oh yeah, Fuller House, Daredevil,
Yeah, they're all at Target.
Yeah,
DC's
Travis,
Titans
imagine
came out on
owning
Blu-ray.
Daredevil.
I kind of do. It's on Netflix.
For
I was
how
watching.
long? For
I
how
don't know.
long,
They're
Travis?
not gonna. They're not taking anything off
That's
because
my
It's a Netflix original.
Like, I was talking to my friend. I was like, okay, I really like this movie on Netflix, but what if I can't show it to my
Reliable.
kids because I can't get off Netflix? It's not anywhere else because it's a Netflix original.
you're thinking way too ahead, Ruth. You're thinking like way
Let
too
me-
ahead. Just enjoy now. Jeez,
But I wonder, like, where is it going to go?
you're over. It's
Well,
fine.
here's
That's
I mean, here's
Telling your kids the story will probably be just as good because then it's bonding instead of just being, "Hey, watch this right here."
Bond
Yeah, but you bond with your child while watching it.
That's the only sense of bonding I have with my dad. Is through movies.
Exactly. See?
Oh, really? You bond with your father by watching movies?
Yep.
Yeah,
that
like
sounds about right.
it's a bonding experience.
I watch
So
movies
here's-
on myself because I like the peace and quiet and being able to sit there and think without interruptions. Thank you.
Sorry.
Okay. See,
Yeah,
Thomas knows where I'm
exactly.
coming from. He understands me.
When the
Look, I
Wi-Fi
get
goes
it.
down, then what? Then what, Travis?
Okay.
I agree.
That's
We need a
great.
Mandalorian
I will give you
Blu-ray
that.
set.
That's
But
cool.
my main thing I don't like about buying physicals because I used to all the time with everything, whether it was games or movies. It
Yeah.
does this thing where it gets very quickly to a point where you have too much to handle, and I'm like, I don't know where to put all this. And I'm the type of person where after a
Storage
while,
containers.
You have a
where
China,
do you put the storage container after a while? You got no room.
you have a
ever.
China cabinet?
No, I don't.
Put him
I
under your
have
bed.
I
Yes,
have
you
my
do.
room. I have my room, sir,
Oh,
and I keep it
okay.
organized. And then once a spot fills up, then guess what? Now it's like a whole thing. I like organization. Why would I add more to my problems?
Well, here's
His room is actually very organized.
here's my 2 cents on the matter. If they they're probably not going to do this, but if they were to release the big movies that were supposed to come out this year, let's say for instance Mulan or Top Gun Maverick,
Yeah.
Chris Nolan's Tenet on a streaming service, for me personally it wouldn't bother me because I'm like, okay, I don't have to go anywhere. It's right here. I can just watch it wherever, whenever I want on my TV or my internet streaming service, whatever it may be. And secondly, the hype train for these movies, at least from where I'm sitting, let's say if Mulan were to drop on Disney Plus on a Friday, the hype would still be there because I would watch the trailer that I remember watching several months ago before I see the movie, and I'm still on the hype train. Like, it doesn't matter
Right.
where it comes out or when it comes out. Whenever these movies are officially released, whether it be through a streaming service or let's say a drive-in, for instance,
Mhm.
the hype's never going to go away. I'm always going to be hyped to see a movie, whether it's a drive-in or a streaming service. So if they were to drop these films tomorrow, I'm excited. I can watch it whenever I want. I don't have to worry about seeing it in a theater because some movies are only in theaters for a limited time only anyway.
That is true. That is true.
That's my
another thing.
2 cents on the matter.
Well, and I get that, and there are some people that are like you, but there are other people that will just lose interest and just be like, "I completely forgot about this film. I don't know if I care that much." But there's still a very good chance that even if it finally does come out, people will say they forgot, but they'll still watch it because I'm like, "Okay, cool, it's out." But
yeah.
another thing, because we were talking about the DVD thing, what if they went the route? They wouldn't, but if you were a person like me who probably wouldn't ever really buy a physical like DVD or whatever, what if like they started releasing these things but on physical DVDs, like, and that was the only option? Would that force people like to actually go and start actually like buying the physical copies they have for home? You know?
Yeah, I think so.
Probably,
It does for
yeah.
me.
And I
That doesn't
feel like
convince you
it'll
too much, Ryan. You already do it.
and I feel like it'll work because
I
there
have a
was the
Target card,
time
I can't help it.
there was a time where like all you could get
Thanks,
were the
Target.
physical copies.
Yeah.
So it's honestly just like taking a step back into to
You
the
know
past.
what? I see where this is going. This was all a ploy. Bring Blockbuster back. I get it.
Yes.
You know what?
Let's make Blockbuster great again. And
I
Mike,
actually
if
love
you're
Blockbuster.
watching this, that was for you.
COVID recreated Blockbuster. That's what. Like, it's not even going to be called Blockbuster.
Ruth,
They're going to
let's do
restart the same business and call it something else, and people are going to go in there and check it out and be like, "Wait, this is Blockbuster." Like, they're
I
just
love
going to. They're going to
Blockbuster,
just.
man.
I went there
I would
once
love
every
I would
week.
love for Blockbuster
If
to
we
come
work
back.
together as a team, we can make Blockbuster great again, guys. We can do it.
Like Blockbuster was a fun place.
It's the best place to get your movies and hang out. It's great. It's awesome. As long as you are 6 feet apart.
I imagine
Ryan, yes.
Ryan, you were the guy that was like standing in the Blockbuster and just giving people recommendations. And they're like looking through the movies. You just came up and like next to him, just like, "Hey, Ryan Permson, That's a good movie. I think you'd like it. Yeah, I'll just be over here. I don't work here. I don't work here. I'm just hi. How are you? You know, like you're just like
just sitting behind the register.
They go up to
Every
check
time-
out, and there's like, I just saw this dude back there. He's like, oh, you saw the Phantom. It's like, no, I just saw him over there, and he has like a cape. He's like, just
what is that?
Yeah, can you imagine?
He just disappears.
Plus, he would be like, based on the shoes you're wearing, Aladdin is your movie.
Yeah.
Like, but they just get mad and they go, what does that mean?
You,
You think I'm really Aladdin?
Taking a step back into the Wayback Machine, I applied to work at Blockbuster.
Everyone,
probably
Caroline's
half
taking a
dozen
selfie.
times,
Everybody
and
stare at
every
her.
time
Stop.
they
Hold on,
denied
stop.
me, I
Everybody make it
applied.
awkward. Hold on. Caroline's taking a selfie. I'll acknowledge it right now.
You can always tell.
Caroline, are you doing something
It's
we should
very,
be knowing about?
it's very not hidden when you see her going. Okay, continue, Ryan.
Sorry.
No, I was saying I applied to work at the lovely place, the movie Heaven, known as Blockbuster Video, and they turned me down every single time. I don't know why. I mean, I was the perfect
You know what it
person to
was?
work
No,
there,
it was
and yet they
because
said
they were
no.
like, he knew too much.
Yeah, I was like Jason Bourne. I knew too much, and they had to wipe me out just like Treadstone.
No,
man.
they were like, why'd you? He would have been such a good addition to the team. He's like, he's a god amongst us men. We don't want to waste his talents.
I gotta bring this.
We can't change nothing, man.
See, you know what happens
See,
when
Thomas
Thomas
says
noticed
selfie.
these things?
Yeah, because I made sure everybody noticed.
Go ahead, Caroline, do it. You
I
gotta
have
do
a
it.
short attention span. I'm sorry.
My God.
Look at these memories that everyone's bringing up. This is lovely. I remember when
Everybody-
Blockbuster first
Oh
came
my
out.
god. Hollywood Video. Hollywood Video.
Oh my God, yes, Hollywood Video.
Wasn't
Yeah.
Hollywood Video
Does
just
anyone
kind of the
remember that?
knockoff Blockbuster?
I always went to Hollywood
a-
Video.
It was
I
a
didn't
$2
have-
knockoff
They
of
had
Blockbuster.
video
Yeah,
games in
but
Hollywood
like
Video.
they were
They
so
had video
cool.
games in Blockbuster.
I
What are you
never
talking
went to Blockbuster.
Dude, let me tell you something.
Yeah, Blockbuster did it
was
first,
like
Caroline.
the OG. Hollywood, whatever the hell, Hollywood Video. It was the knockoff.
Came
that-
after.
Yeah, Blockbuster was the thing. Where as a kid, at once every week on the weekend, my dad was nice enough to be like, if I was like good that week, he would drive me to Blockbuster, and I could get a game and maybe a movie. Sometimes I had to pick, and I was just like,
What's
oh,
up, David?
Hi, David.
ladies and
By the way,
gentlemen.
thank you for those of you who are joining us live in the chat and bringing up all these lovely comments, especially the selfie comment. I love that.
Thank you for the
doing
memories
so.
too.
If you have any questions you want to ask us about the situation or any comments of your own that you want to make about this, drop them in the comment section below. And we may put your comment on the marquee very soon. So keep that in mind as you go through the course of the night. Yeah, you know what, folks? I'll tell you the truth. I made a little trip last night, and it's called a Target run. I don't know if you've ever heard of these terms. So I made a Target run last night, and I found these things that are called physical media, which I just love buying. And I haven't seen 8 of the movies that are featured on these DVDs. One of them is a 10-film DVD set from Warner Brothers, right? And the other one is an animated film that I think 6.5 billion people have said, Ryan, you need to see this. It's the best
do.
thing since sliced bread. And it's called Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Wait, you
So
haven't
now I have
seen that?
Never. I've never seen
Why
it.
have
So
you? You of all people, you waited so long.
I waited 2 years. I know. I waited so long. So I got Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and I got 10 films from Warner Brothers on a 10 or 5 or 6 disc DVD set. Films that include Purple Rain, The Shining, A Nightmare on Elm Street, freaking The Lost Boys. What's another one? You got Lethal Weapon, the director's cut. You got what's another one? I'm trying to think. Caddyshack, like Vision Quest, Lean on Me.
Garfield.
No, Garfield's not on there. Plus, it's not a Warner Brothers property, I don't think. But
Yeah,
anyway, so yeah, I got all those films in a DVD set, so now I can just sit down and watch them wherever and whenever. I don't have to worry about them showing up on my cable system. So there you go, folks. Physical media proves to be the winner in this argument.
I
Yay.
can only imagine that you took the Target run, you got all this like these videos and movies and stuff, and then you came back and be like, guys, you talk to your parents like, guys, look what I got, and they're like, you were supposed to get groceries. I'm tired of this. I'm tired. We have no food. But
I did get
James
I got
Bond,
a plethora.
1974, right here.
Excuse me, I take offense to that because I got 5 giant-sized, good-looking boxes of Honey Nut Cheerios. I got Kleenex. I got water.
So sorry,
I got,
sir. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I got
I had,
bread.
I had no
butter.
idea.
Yeah,
I had
got
no idea.
groceries, son. I didn't just get DVDs for yours truly. I got groceries for my family. Okay,
You
so
put-
I did
you-
think about other people.
You put butter in your cereal?
No, that's for the butter and the bread. No, I don't do that. I personally do not do that.
All right. Okay.
Okay,
I
now
believe
that's
you.
I do not do that. But yes, I bought movies and groceries, so I got the survival kit for COVID-19 last night.
It's going to last you 2 days, Ryan.
Oh, no. It's going to last me a lot longer than that.
How so? You watch movies consecutively, extremely fast.
Well, I have several movies on my DVR that I've yet to watch, so I'm going to watch those and then get to the physical media stuff a little bit later.
Okay, here's another question, Ryan, because you already answered it. You basically have it where you have this long laundry list of movies that you're definitely trying to work through. Boom. Squirrel! My question for everybody else is, in retrospect, though, even though we're in quarantine, how many movies, like, how often are we all watching movies right now, though? Even though we're in quarantine, is it as severe as maybe most people are thinking we're doing, or do you really think you're not watching them as much?
I know personally, plugging Nerd and Chill, I strictly kind of watch TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's me. That's just me.
Strong praise.
I don't know. I'm honestly kind of been doing both, but I mostly just watch TV anyway, so I'm kind of just catching up on like TV that I haven't seen. But like now I have like HBO Max, so I'm like, yeah, I'll watch more movies now. So why not?
I've been doing it as like a way of like virtually hanging out, where me and my friends will be on Netflix at the same time and video chat, and then press play at the same time.
You do that?
Yeah. So
Netflix watch parties, Ruth.
You know what hurts? The fact that we're just now finding out you do that.
Yeah, like no invitation at all. But
nice to know. Nice to know that there's another family. Okay. And we're clearly not the important ones. All right.
I mean, if you guys want to.
No, I'm not interested. That's fine.
We have plans for upcoming watch parties on this channel as well as others and collaborative events with other content creators. So stay tuned for those details as they become available.
Ruth isn't invited.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Ruth isn't invited though.
No.
I've been watching it too. I kind of stopped because Disney Plus just doesn't like automatically play your next episode, and it's getting really annoying.
I like that.
It's a little.
Yeah, they're like, "Are you still watching this?" Yes.
It's annoying. Because like I'm all cuddled up in a blanket, I'm like I don't want to move.
Caroline's like, I'm stuck in this position. I can't move. I can't bring myself to touch the remote control. It doesn't work. Caroline, come on. Got to get a little bit of exercise during your couch potatoing. Come on now. Got to move that remote. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You got to move the remote with your arm in your hand.
The trick is to wrap yourself up like a burrito in the blanket with the remote, but you have to have a blanket that's thin enough that you can still see, like the TV can pick up on the remote, so you don't move. You're just like, okay.
Ooh,
No, but I want my laptop.
70s Italian and 80s horror gems. Yes.
Well, we just got a whole selection here that we're talking about.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I'll be honest with you. I cannot wait to watch all these DVDs and Blu-rays I'm about.
Here's another thing, Brian. You bring up something I just heard about today. So we're talking about old school horror movies and stuff. So taking the old school that's been rebooted, we all know that a couple of years ago, I think it's been a couple or maybe just one. I'm losing track of time. Halloween had a remake, and that came out. And recently, they kind of made an announcement saying, like, of course they plan on making another one. And they released like a little snippet of like spoiler, if you haven't seen the movie, plug your ears real quick. But
hi Josh.
50 plus movies I've never seen that I wanted to watch in court. Ended up watching maybe 5 of them and rewatching a bunch of stuff instead. That's exactly it. Josh, you have no determination. You have no determination.
Josh, does that include how many times have you watched the original Star Wars trilogy during quarantine?
That's probably what he's rewatched too much. I don't
honestly.
But they just to finish the thought, the Halloween thing, they basically made a like quick trailer of like, you know, Lori and her daughter and then her daughter's daughter driving away from like the house fire, and then the ambulance is driving back towards the house, and she's like, "No, let them burn!" And then it's just like it's like the announcement saying it was supposed to come out in like 2021, but now it's being pushed to 2022. But they're announcing it now. I'm like, I feel like that's a little too early and too much of a gap, but I'm like, I heard about that today. I was like, oh, I forgot. Yes, okay, cool, because I kind of like the remake. There were some moments that were weird, but
they had already like started filming.
Oh yeah,
the sequel.
I wonder if they finished filming though, and maybe they're just holding off.
I don't know.
Like, I wonder if they got the footage already and they're just editing right now.
Well, they started filming in 2019, I believe. Like, I believe they started filming in like 2019, like right at the beginning of 2019. So they should be in the editing stage. Like, they should be in that stage of just like getting ready to release it.
Yeah.
But Yeah, it was supposed to come out this October. It was supposed to come out this year.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate.
Yeah.
Maybe had reshoots they had to do.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
it got
so
pushed to 21. Okay.
it got pushed to 21 is what I am hearing
Yeah.
right now, which makes sense. Again, but it was just one of those things. It was just one of those things though where I got reminded of it literally today, and I was like, it was kind of just that spark of, oh, I remember that. Oh yeah, they are making a sequel. Oh, I got to wait a year. Like it was just, it's very unfortunate. It's a lot of that recently. It's really a lot of that. Yeah, this October is supposed to come out. They're keeping it up.
So, well, let me ask you this: if one of your films that you were anticipated, like you were jacked up to see, was delayed and it came out later this year or maybe in early 2021 on a streaming service, would you guys still be hyped to go and to watch it on a streaming service, or you think the hype train for you would have been like, don't care about the hype train, but oh, this movie's out now, great, now I can watch it, but I really don't care?
Wait, hon.
Would the hype for you still be there if one of your films came out 6-8 months later than it was supposed to?
Potentially, maybe not as much. Okay, so it's very simple for me as a person.
That's hard.
Just me. It's if a movie is announced it's coming out, and I'm like, ooh, I want to see that. Then it says it gets pushed, and then eventually, when it finally does come out, if I'm told that it's come out, I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, I gotta watch it. So like, I'll probably find time when I can, and I will sit down and like rent it and like watch it. I don't care, because as long as I get to watch it, I'm fine. But the thing is, though, you adamantly have to advertise it like crazy for me to see it, because out of sight, out of mind for me. Like I could be so excited for a movie, but then completely forget after a week that it's coming out or like when it's coming out. Like the amount of times you guys have been like, "Hey, I saw this movie recently." I'm like, "Wait, that's out? Holy crap!" Like you guys know. So,
I mean, that happened with Birds of Prey.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. If I have time, I might watch it tonight. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh my god!
But
what do you think, Greg?
I feel like I'd still be pretty hyped for it, because like the longer you wait for it, like the more like anticipation and like build up it has. Because like I'm honestly still kind of hyped for New Mutants, even though I honestly think we're never going to see that movie.
I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not nearly as hyped as I was 5 years or.
I swear to God, mine's died a little. I'm like, oh.
Coronavirus happened because the world refuses to let New Mutants be released.
I honestly think that just needs to burn as a movie.
You have no heart, Josh. Don't you lie to me. My heart.
No, but like,
so
I was even hyped when
what about you? If
Mulan was supposed to come out, like I was still hyped for that.
Marsh.
I'm ready for Black Widow.
And that too.
Yeah,
like I don't think the hype goes away. It's just like,
for me, I don't think the hype really goes away, especially if it's a film you've been dying to see.
Exactly.
I don't know. I think most of us are all kind of just like a little bit where it's like you were hyped for it, but you do adamantly kind of forget about it. And it's in the back of your mind until it says, "Hey, it's out now." And you're like, "Oh crap, really? Okay."
Yeah, but it's gonna be so like deja vu in 21 when we're seeing the same trailers that we saw like a few months ago.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll recut them. It's fine. Yeah.
But then I'm gonna see even more of the movie before
I don't know about that, Brian.
High on New Mutants. They are very committed.
Yes.
If Disney is very committed, then they should just put that film out, because I remember the last time we heard news about it. I remember they said that. I remember they said the edit was finally done.
Caroline.
Thank you,
Caroline.
John.
Are you seeing this?
Wow.
Really good.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
Caroline's
Thank you,
like, I
Josh.
don't care what you guys are saying. I'm on my phone. I got better things to do. But what was it? Ruth,
Carol.
if Mulan comes out 6-8 months later, are you going to be jacked up to see it, or you're going to be like, I don't really
My thing is
Yeah.
that I'm secretly hoping if I take these next 2 months to add Mushu in all my songs, because that's what I love.
Mushu's not gonna be in it,
no.
Mushu's not going to be in it. They've
No.
already
My
made that.
problem is
No.
that people
What is your problem, Ruth?
People give
Why is
Disney
Mushu
so
so
much.
important to you?
No, people give Disney so much shit because they're like, it is so cheesy and cheerful, and the story is way too perfect and like cute and adorable.
Yeah. No happiness exists.
But that's why you go and watch a Disney movie. And so now they're taking Mulan, which is a great story, and they're making it all dark and edgy.
I
And
want
It has to be. It has to be.
It's a movie about war.
Here's my question,
It's a
though.
movie
I get it, but make a
How-
movie about war. Don't redo
How
Mulan.
crazy would it be, though, if like Ruth had to wait so long for the film that by the time like movies that she wanted to see started coming out, she's just so has so much disdain for how long she had to wait that she's just a harsher critic. So she goes in there, sits down, and as it's playing, she's like, shill. Not good. Bland.
Not
Like
happy
usually,
enough.
Who's not in it?
because
Nope.
another thing is that's very a highly likely thing is that also movies that are going to come out, there's also a chance that maybe they might get rated more harshly. Because if you think of it's like because then when movies are held off for so long, your anticipation builds for it. Because like I can't wait for this movie, and you wait so long, and then when it finally
Nothing.
comes out, you kind of go in potentially thinking this better blow my mind. I've waited so long for it, and since you had that high expectation, it just like doesn't deliver.
Yes, I get your same premise.
See, Thomas, exactly. Thank you. Her whole catchphrase is decapitation. Yay!
Oh my gosh! If there's no decapitation in Mulan, like I'm walking out.
Yo, I swear to God, when that comes out and she does a review on it, I hope there's a decapitation scene. I hope she's like,
Yeah,
of course there was.
exactly.
Decapitation. We should get you a prop head. We should get you like a replica of your own head, and you walk around like,
Ah,
Not in my
Ruth.
head. That doesn't make
there you
sense.
go. That's her cosplay.
yeah, that's a cosplay right there.
Ruth, not everything from the original film has to be in the reboot/remake.
No, I
Why? Because you
understand.
need to make the film different.
I understand
Exactly, and that's why
Make
I
it
was
different.
excited for
Make
it.
it
It was
good.
different.
Make it actually worth watching, and that's why I think Mulan is going to be very much worth watching because it looks so
Exactly.
different from all the typical live action, straight to formula, same thing remakes that we've seen.
He's going crazy over there.
Because it's a fact.
I've never seen Ryan in all my years of knowing him go straight to formula. Like, I've never seen him do that.
Yeah, Disney. Hey, Ruth, the Disney formula needs
Oh
to
my
be
God.
changed in 2021. Hashtag facts.
Okay, so
Okay.
change
I
it
agree.
by making an original movie, not by redoing something that was done really well. That's my only thing.
Ruth,
Yeah, just-
you don't understand how movies work. We just remake things, okay? You want original?
That's
Too
that's all
bad.
Disney likes to do. Is
Watch
remake
indie
things.
movies if you want something original. Honestly.
Straight up. Hey, if you want to watch it, if you want to watch movies that are completely original and you want to get confused like crazy, watch Midsommar. I did, and I had no idea what happened. I was like, the cinematography was great.
Oh my goodness.
That's a
listen to
good
what
question,
she said.
Ryan.
Are we going to reveal this private information
No,
about ourselves?
no. I think by Ruth's comments, we know how young
So
two of the
here's
people on this
no.
panel are. and
There's
I
a
think
better
by
way.
Ruth-
There's a better way to get that answered. People need to just guess for everybody. It's like everybody guess what Ryan's age is and what Caroline's is.
Yes.
And then they
Yes.
get blown away because I know there's going to be, wow, you act too old for your age, or you act like a child. You should grow up a little.
Oh my god, I would
Ruth,
love that.
Ruth. I will say this, and this is the thing
Oh
that's
my
been a
god.
blessing
Yes,
in disguise
sorry to
during,
bother
during,
you. Yes.
during the pandemic,
Yes,
is that I'm
Thomas.
able to watch all the movies I haven't seen through my cable system, through my DVR, and through the beauties of physical media. Hashtag Target runs. That's a good thing about this quarantine is that I get to see movies I haven't seen before on these different services. So in a way, there's a silver lining to this dark cloud, Ruth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also-
I wasn't saying that, but okay.
Well, you got caught.
I'm sorry.
You got no. It's
you
okay.
got
I'm
got.
just saying for me,
dare
it's been a silver lining because I'm able to watch all these movies. Like I've watched more movies this year than I've had the last 2 years.
That's
Very
fair. And that's
productive.
saying something.
Yeah.
I am continuing my movie education, folks.
That's good. Also, I'm noticing quarantine's made you more aggressive. I'm a little scared.
You should be.
Ryan's just like,
Quarantine is
you are a wall, I
taking
would
its
plaster you right
But
now.
hey, to circle it back around to being a Disney shill, as we know Ruth is. Ruth, I will say that your most recent video, most underrated Disney films, that's on our YouTube channel, which by the way, everyone can watch right now as soon as we're done with this stream. Great video, Ruth, and I'm going to add them to my list, and I cannot wait to watch those on Disney Plus. So thank you for your recommendations. I will put that out there right now.
Yo, was that a
Yeah,
plug?
Because
Wow.
4 or 5 of those movies,
Plug.
Ruth, I have never seen before.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, that was my goal. Was to, throw some
I'm glad you brought up
Hidden
Great
gems
Mouse
out there.
Detective. I'm glad you brought that up.
spoilers.
It's only one of 10 movies.
Yeah, you're
It's
right.
fine. One little spoiler isn't the end of the world.
People are still going to watch your videos and none of the other ones. It's okay.
So Travis has a great playlist.
You know
of-
what? Just stop. Just stop. You're not doing anyone any favors. The second you said I had a great playlist, it's like out.
Oh,
Josh,
heard
if
you.
they do that, I am 100% behind that because I will watch the movies anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot Wonder Woman.
Hey, so pretend like I'm an
Did.
idiot.
We all did.
VOD means
Video on demand.
Video on demand,
thank
ladies and
you.
gentlemen.
I know terms, dude. Sometimes it takes me a while to get abbreviations in text like TTYL. I'm like, wait, talk. Oh God, yeah, totally. Couldn't
Like, I
just write
thought
that.
NATO
All
was
right.
a government
Yeah,
agency,
totally,
which it turns
totally.
out it is, but NATO in this case stands for National Association for Theater Owners. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it took me a minute to.
It just
Yeah, I mean, Caroline, you remember that acronym, right? You used to work in a movie theater. You know how the politics work.
Yeah, sadly for too
Yeah.
long.
Sad but true. Yes, sad but true.
Sad
Well, let me
but
ask
true.
everybody this on the panel. What's a movie you've never seen before, but that you've actually seen for the first time in your life this year? Whether it be a film that was supposed to come out this year, maybe got delayed and then put out on video on demand, or a movie from like 10 or 20 years ago.
Oh,
I
she's
finally
excited.
watched Heathers.
You're just now watching. Wait, hold on. Wasn't there
I've
a
never seen
remake?
that
Or are you
movie.
talking about the original?
The original.
Okay.
I
What did
remember
you-
the first time we did, I was like, I'm gonna watch Heathers tonight.
What did you think? Because I remember watching it and I was a little confused after the end of it.
It wasn't anything exciting. Like, it didn't live up to the hype.
You're telling me the cool suaveness of Christian Slater wasn't enough for you?
And Winona Ryder?
He always has his hair like there's always that 180 strand of hair hanging down to his lip. He's like, I'm so cool it hurts. I'm Christian
So,
Slater.
well, Caroline, since you brought that up, what did you think of Heathers? Scale 1 to 10. If you had to give the viewers at home a rating.
7.
7 out of 10. Okay, that's fair. No, that's
7.
fair. Makes complete sense. Anybody else watch a movie for the first time?
I mean, I
this
did
year in
mention
2020?
I did mention Midsommar.
Oh, how
Midsummer. How creepy was it? Because I heard it's a creepy film.
Listen, it's not that. First, look, I'm messed up in here already. It didn't really do nothing for me, but like, it was one of those.
It just
I
confused
sat
him.
down, and the second it started, and then like it did the whole kind of weird opening that made no sense, and it said Midsommar. I sat there and I said audibly to myself, A24, I know what you're going to do. You're going to make me sit here for 2.5 hours, and at the end of it, I'm going to be like, some of those scenes were weird, and I have no idea what happened. And then once the credits started rolling, I was like, yep. That was great. It's too much left open to interpretation that I'm like, what? Just say it. What's going on? I'm saying, come on. What's at a certain point? Sure. I look, Josh. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I know what type of movie it was. I thought the
Man, I gotta
cinematography
watch this now.
was great. Although there were a couple of moments I kind of called what they were going to do, like when they had a shot of a person, and I was just like, she's going to stare at the camera to make us feel awkward. And then the second I said that, they were like, oh, I was like, there it is right there. I have a feeling
There's a director's cut of this movie?
If there is, I
Ooh.
bet it's like 3 or 3.5 hours. I don't know if I could sit for that long watching this. But that was the
On a scale of
initial-
1 to
That
10,
sounds
what would you
interesting
give it?
though.
I'm gonna give it 8 because of the fact that it was still a good
Wow.
movie. I could mainly follow it. There's a very basic basis to the story, but there's a lot of internal stuff that the characters are going through, which you really have to try to delve. It's a psychological thing. It's one of those things where after you watch it, you have to sit down with friends and talk about it. Like, I thought this meant this. There's a lot of symbolism here, so I missed out on that because I watched it and I had no one to talk to about it. So that was just one of those things. But regardless, cinematography was good. I got the gist. If I could have had a conversation afterwards, I think I would have given it a 9 or a 10 out of 10 because we would have been able to break down what things meant. I would have been like, oh, crap. I didn't think about that. But it is what it is.
So we got Heathers from the 80s, Midsummer from modern day. Who else has seen another film from this year? For the first time, I mean. Greg, Ruth, does anyone want to chime in before I speak to the class?
I think I've been rewatching stuff more recently.
Oh, okay. That's fair. What about you?
Ruth doesn't like change.
She
Obviously.
doesn't like change.
She's
She
made it
likes
very
the same
clear what
5
you want.
movies on Disney Plus every single day of the week and twice on Sunday. Greg, what have you seen this year?
Oh man, I haven't really. Man, I
Has it
don't
been
know. I
rewatches for you?
honestly no. Like I've definitely been watching like new stuff. Like I watched The Platform on Netflix, which was like really
I haven't watched this either. Like, I literally look. This is
so
one
weird.
of the many movies.
So weird.
This is one of the many
Such a
movies
weird
that is
movie.
recommended to me, and I say, "Yeah, dude, I knew about that movie like 3 months ago." I'm like, "Did you watch it?" No. Like, I don't know what it is. I have all the time in the world. I just don't. I always forget about movies I have waiting for me.
Such a weird movie. So weird. What else? I watched Euphoria, and like now,
Yeah,
like
film with
again,
that.
like I've. What?
Oh, the Zendaya. Isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I heard from a friend that like that visually is stunning.
Yeah, probably me. I told you about this.
No, I think it was Jack. Don't
I don't know.
put your words in my mouth.
I'm just saying, like I told you this, like I think last week because I just finished it last week. It was
Well,
beautiful.
maybe it was. Well, maybe it was.
a
Definitely. You know what? It definitely was you.
Well,
It definitely was
It's a
you.
beautiful show, and like
Yeah.
now I'm watching like True Detective, so it's just like,
Okay, I'll tell you right now. First season, you're gonna love yourself, and second season, you're like, why did they replace everything? It's such.
I've already tried to watch first season, and I like skipped over that, and I'm now on the third season, so I'm just like,
You
I
skipped
will-
the first season.
I skipped first season, I skipped
Why?
second season, and now I'm on third season
Why?
because I'm just like
The first
I don't-
season is so good. It's got all right in it. Like, what are you doing?
he's so
ooh,
okay.
Josh.
I
I will
Josh.
try it. I will try. Ooh,
Josh, good pick, man. Taxi Driver.
Gosh,
is a
I am
darn good
so
Scorsese
surprised
movie.
you've waited this long to watch that movie. How
It's a
dare you?
good movie.
I will
How
watch
dare
that.
you not watch a De
Greg,
Niro movie for
watch
that
I
one?
haven't seen it yet. I haven't
If you
seen
want
it
to
yet.
see a good Scorsese film, like early Scorsese, watch Taxi Driver. You will not be disappointed. But to answer,
Okay.
to answer the question, for sake of, I've watched 50 of them, but I'll just name 2 or 3 that I've seen recently right off the bat. One of them
Go.
is Virtuosity with Denzel and Russell Crowe, which is a weird, not so good movie. Secondly, I saw Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze. May he rest in peace. Very good actor. As well as I heard good stories
Classic.
about him being a good human
High
being.
kicks and tight jeans. That's the
I-
80s, baby.
Dude,
I
Dude, it
love
was-
Roadhouse.
dude,
I
Roadhouse
love
is
Roadhouse.
Greg,
Like they
I
had
enjoyed
belts
Roadhouse
above their
so
belly
much.
button. Every time they bent over, I bet they had to dub out the sound of them going, "Ugh!"
And you had a somewhat young version of Sam Elliott in there. It was great. He never ages, Sam Elliott. And thirdly, what was the other film I saw that was really good? It was Reality Bites with Winona Ryder. Speaking of Heathers, I thought that was a good coming of age movie. Not great, but it was still good. It was solid.
You got those classics you watch. Ryan,
Oh, dude, I got many more.
are there
classics to
any
come.
movies like new-ish that came out in the last year or have kind of come out this year that you've decided to watch? Or are you just forcing yourself to watch olds and old classics? I think
Mostly
it's more
classic.
difficult for you to do new.
Kind of, but I'm in the process of
Yeah,
watching
he-
newer films. Like for
he
instance,
got,
I'm going to be
Into the
watching
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse pretty
Yeah.
soon.
Finally.
Yeah. See,
Yeah,
here's
it
my
took-
thing.
I know,
We're
it took
gonna
me
have an
2 years.
intervention.
Visually stunning movie.
I think we all agree.
On live stream, we're interventing
Yeah,
with
exactly.
Ryan.
Because now the pressure's on Ryan. We all love you. You need to start watching movies as much as you do, but they have to be newer movies, bud. Nobody wants you to be like, hey, I watched a movie. I was like, what was it? It came out like 50 years ago. I'm like, no. What came out this week? Watch that and then talk to me. Because then I can watch.
Oh my goodness.
Well, look at the bright side. Spider-Verse is a good start.
Yeah.
It
It's
is-
like Ryan's the
it's
type
an
of guy who's
excellent
like,
start.
hey, I just watched Cape Fear. I'm like, oh, yeah, like the remake from like the 90s with Robert De Niro. Like, no, the one from the 50s. I'm like, gee, which one?
Oh
No,
my
Josh,
goodness.
I've never seen Spider-Verse. I'm 2 years late. Give
Yeah.
me a break.
I know.
It's
Yeah,
so
you
beautiful.
need to I want you a personal goal for you, Ryan. I want you to watch at least 10 movies that like were meant like from this year or last year, like very, very recent. I swear. Listen, I'll give you one. Please,
Oh,
for the love of God, I want you to
Okay.
watch Guns Akimbo, starring Daniel Radcliffe. I saw that recently, and I was like, "This is visually stunning." I was so in love with
Akimbo.
I was so in love with the cinematography.
I've
dude.
been thinking about watching Ford v Ferrari. I've
Oh,
honestly
fantastic.
I
been
do
thinking
want to
about.
watch that. By the way,
Really?
okay,
Fantastic.
okay.
Fantastic.
To answer your question, I have watched a film that is more recent. It's from 2019. It's from last year, like November, December when it came out. Hustlers with J Lo.
Oh, that's a
There
good
you
one.
go.
Oh,
Good
see,
one.
There you go.
I heard about that, but I didn't like put it on like in the spotlight for me to want to watch it. I'm definitely open to watching it, but it's kind of like it was.
I saw it.
and-
I saw it.
It's a really good movie.
It's
I
inspired by
heard
a
of-
true story. It's not too shabby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard about it through this is a shout out to a podcast I love to watch. It's called The Bonfire with Big J Okerson and Dan Soder. And Big J Okerson was actually in the film. He was the DJ for the club. He was like the big dude with the beard and the spiky like bleached hair and stuff. So
I've
so you
not
start
seen
talking
Midway.
about that. So yeah, it made me kind of keep it in the back of my mind. But yeah, I had no idea that film was kind of even out. Like I kind of slept on it.
Yeah, I still,
Yep.
I still probably have to, like Midway. Honestly, reminded me like I need to see 19.
17?
Yeah,
Yeah, I still need to watch that
You
too.
haven't
Dude,
seen
I want
that?
to see 19.
I'm not a war
Dude,
guy.
I haven't seen any
No,
of them. I need to see
it's-
Midway and
it's-
1917 ASAP.
I'm not a war guy.
Hold on, Caroline's about to explode.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Talk.
Caroline's having a
You were
seizure
both
as we
both
start to wrap up the
not
show.
from 1917.
No,
I
I haven't
haven't-
seen it.
I want to.
haven't-
I just keep forgetting to watch
The
it.
whole thing is so beautifully pieced together. It looks like it's just one long shot.
Yeah, I know. I know that's the
Yeah,
whole
like
thing.
And
I'm
no,
But
Josh.
I'm very interested in
I
that.
have terrible ADHD, and it kept me entertained the entire time.
that's saying something. They
That
definitely
That is saying something.
They earned an Oscar because they learned that they were able to keep Caroline's attention, and they were like, "How the f- did you do that?" Jesus.
There's only like 3.
She was definitely in the test screening.
See,
Mm.
see, 1917. It's one of those films I've always wanted to watch it, but when it's not put in front of me, I
Brian,
forget.
thank
And
you for joining us.
a few times it's popped up. It's a 2.5. Isn't it 2.5 hours long?
Though it doesn't feel like it though.
Look, I know it doesn't.
Isn't
The
it
thing
like
is-
one continuous shot too?
Yeah.
Yeah, they make it that way. And the thing for me
Well,
is
Oscar for
crazy.
editing.
most of the very big movies like that, they're like running 2.5 hours long. I'm at a point right now where it's like every time I have a chance to watch a film, it's late at night, and I only have so much time before I have to pass out and start my day again with work. So I'm like, oh, 2.5 hours. I don't know if I have that time.
Okay,
It all comes down to that.
Friday after work, you're watching 1917.
I'll try, but I still got to make content for our channel. Okay, let me.
Friday.
Plug it up. Yeah.
And we will talk
If
about
You
it
guys are
Friday.
interested in The Last of Us Part 2. We're doing walkthroughs of that. We have about like 10 or 11 out now, and there's more to come. This looks so weird. Holy
It
crap.
does.
Yeah, I
There's
don't
a
know why
bunch
you're doing that.
Already out, and there's more coming out, so make sure to watch that. And yeah, there's more.
I agree with Josh. I agree with Josh.
Yeah, that's also kind of a thing. Like
Yeah, sorry, Josh.
I
We
do
didn't
feel
see
like
it
I
in
need to
theaters.
see 1917 in theaters, but yeah, that's
Well-
something that I'll put on my list for this time.
Well, with those movie recommendations, all the craziness that's going on in the world right now, we do wish everyone, because I know a lot of us here have some friends or family members who work in the movie making industry, people who work for production companies, all that stuff. We wish you guys the best through this crazy situation. We hope you guys stay strong. We hope that the movie making industry can get back on its feet sooner
Yeah.
rather than later, so we can see some of these upcoming projects in theaters or on a streaming service coming our way at some point in the near future. That is actually going to do it for us, guys. But before we go, we want to let you guys know so many wonderful things are going on our channel right now. We got a lot of new things coming your way very soon. Ruth's video just went up, recommendations for films to see. We got playthroughs of The Last of Us and other games.
Which
Yeah,
is coming out
very
daily.
soon.
I'm on top of that.
Warzone.
Yes.
Warzone
Yeah.
just dropped the Four Corners. That was actually hilarious. I recommend people.
That
go
was
see
fun.
They're
That was fun.
That was
Also,
Yeah,
Friday we're releasing another Battle of the Nerds.
Oh yeah, there is that.
There's that.
We got. Wait, who's it between?
These two.
Aha!
Who are
Oh.
these two that you're pointing to? Who are they again? Is it
Me
Ryan
and
versus
you.
Greg?
Yeah.
So it's Ryan versus Greg. That is going to be on the next episode of
Good
Battle
luck.
Nerds. That is coming up very, very soon. Cannot wait for that. Guys, I got to tell you, this has been a fun discussion, and this is my first time running the show through StreamYard. I appreciate you guys chiming in with all your comments, all your feedback, all that lovely stuff. And hey, I put a nice banner up so you guys know what our topic is for this evening, so that was fun to make. And this is good, guys. I love this platform. I love what we're doing. And the only thing we can do through this crisis is just be there for each other and entertain the millions and millions of people out there the best way we know how. So
I
do,
love that.
do yourselves a favor. Check out our podcast. It's called The Nerdcast. I talk about movies past and maybe the present. Talking about Spider-Verse later.
Yes, you
among
will.
others. Download that on Anchor, Google, Spotify, wherever you download your podcast. And also check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at It's Nerd Culture. You can find us there. Follow us across all social medias. Before we go, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at RyanRPM5. Caroline, where can the good people of the interwebs find you online?
It's Caro Harlan. Not Carol, but Caro.
Carol.
Carol.
She's like,
Thank you.
Oh, I hate you. I hate you people. Greg, where can the good people of the interwebs find you online, good sir?
You can find me on Nerd Culture and every so often, like on Lasting Like Media.
ah,
Yeah.
Josh, you hear that?
Yeah, that was for you, buddy.
And
Travis.
going through with that, Travis, where can the wonderful people of these things
You know
we call
what?
the interwebs find you?
God damn, Ryan. You know, it's funny you ask because you can find me basically on Nerd Culture doing the nerdy gamer playthroughs such as The Last of Us. Josh, I hear you. I'm going to finish it. Don't you worry. And also, you can find me over on Lasting Light Media. And also, if you want to find me on social media, just search me on Facebook and we'll talk because my name is too long and weird for it to be searched. So,
Yes, that's true.
guys.
Okay, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made a bad decision. It's too. Every time somebody asks me from Instagram, I'm like, "Can I see your phone?" It's going to take me a few tries.
Oh yeah.
I know, but I like it too much. It's fine.
It's a part of him.
And
it's a part of him.
last but certainly not least, she wears red boots. She's proud of it, and she loves
Yeah.
Disney wholeheartedly. So much so to the point where we may consider her a Disney shill. Maybe not. We don't want to go into that because her financial records are sealed. Ruth, where can the good people of the interwebs find you online?
That's on Nerd Culture, yes, and my Gmail is pandaruthie25. If you want to email me, yes.
Yeah.
On my Instagram though.
Email her your Disney idea.
That's her
Yeah.
gangster
What is
name.
your favorite Disney movie?
You can add me next
Email
time
me your
for working later.
Mhm.
Yes.
Email
What was
me
that,
your
Caroline? I'm
Disney
sorry.
movies.
Oh, she's cowering.
He's
in the
gone.
corner now.
She's gone.
Caroline is scared to go in front of a camera. But anyway, guys, thank you once again for being here. We wish you guys all the best. Remember, stay strong, stay healthy, stay safe.
Oh,
Stay
everybody
home.
wave.
And hey,
Everybody wave. Both hands. Both hands. Very
with
quickly.
all the movies that are out right now on the interwebs, watch movies. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
I have the speed of a leopard.